In modern RuneScape, are all minigames dead content, or are there some that can actually make you some really good money? Well, in this video, we aim to find that out. Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and in today's video, we're going to be testing out minigames in RuneScape 3 and seeing if they can actually make you good money. And stick around to the end because some of these might shock you with how much you can actually make. If you like this sort of content, over 70% of you aren't subscribed, so hit that subscribe button, or check if you're subscribed if you think you are, because sometimes you aren't really subscribed or you get unsubscribed. It happens to me a lot recently, but let's get into this video. It should be a pretty fun one, and I'm super interested in this. So minigames in RuneScape are mostly seen as dead content nowadays, but what if I told you some of them might actually make you decent money? I always kind of hated how minigames took a back seat in RuneScape. There's something I really liked about the old days of RuneScape, playing castle wars, going to clan wars, even doing things that could benefit your account, like stealing creation, or I think I even made money at Fist of Guthics before. Doing that stuff was super fun to me, and it would be nice if we could make some sort of money nowadays playing minigames, even if we're most likely playing alone. So looking through the minigames list, the first one that piqued my interest is the Brimhaven agility minigame. Now, this one for some reason is super nostalgic to me, but at first glance you might think, how can you make any money here? Well, in all honesty, I didn't think you could make money here either. But upon further inspection, you can actually trade in your agility tickets that you earn for some good items, most notably the Pirate's Hook. Now, the whole premise of this minigame is to run around dodging obstacles and tagging pillars. Once you tag a pillar, you get an agility ticket. This is listed under a minigame in the RuneScape wiki. There's a lot of things that are minigames, sort of like minigames. They aren't, completely minigames, but they're kind of in that genre, and this one always felt like that to me. So in this agility arena, once you tag a pillar, you get an agility ticket. Now, these pillars will change every minute or so the maximum tickets you can get per hour is like 50 or 60, and that is essentially the entire minigame, running around trying to collect these tickets and dodging obstacles. Now, if we look at the main thing, which is the reward shop, you can see you can get some grimy herbs, you can get some agility XP, or the item I've got my eyes on, the Pirate's Hook. Now, the Pirate's Hook actually sells for a decent amount of money. You can get the agility tickets by opening pirate implings as well, and I bought a Pirate's Hook this way before, and I think I sold it for like near 100 mil. The hook cost 800 tickets, so the quickest time it'll take you to get the hook doing this agility minigame is around 13 to 14 hours. Now, if we divide the price of the Pirate's Hook by the tickets, this makes it so that one Brimhaven agility ticket is around 100 to 150k each, depending on how long you're willing to wait for that Pirate's Hook to sell. So surprisingly, this minigame that I just assumed you made like a 0 GP from can actually make you like 6 to 8 mil GP per hour, depending on what your Pirate Hook sells for. Am I ever going to go and collect 800 tickets at the agility course to get a Pirate's Hook? Nope. But it's interesting to see that you can actually make some money here. So next I wanted to talk about the Magic Training Arena, another very nostalgic place for me, and another place that I've actually spent a good bit of time at. And at the Magic Training Arena, you essentially train magic and can actually get some decent XP. You do sort of like small little mini games for each type of point. You need to get 4 types of points when training, and these points can all be used to buy different things, like unlock Bones to Peaches as a spell, to buy Master Wands, or to buy Mage's Books and Infinity items, things like that. So this is a place that it has, again, very nostalgic for me. I used to do it all the time, but surprisingly, this can actually make you a ton of money nowadays, and it's a solo minigame, so you basically go in there and you do it by yourself. But when I did it, I think it took me around 1 hour and 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, to get myself Infinity Boots. Now, Infinity Boots are used for a clue step to put in a hidey hole, so that's why they're kind of expensive nowadays. And Infinity Boots are going for like 20 million GP, so that means in an hour and a half I made like around 20 mil if you minus the rune cost. You don't really spend that much on runes, but that comes out to around 13 mil per hour while trading magic, getting some decent XP. You don't need super high levels to do this, so this is one that always surprised me. And as long as people need those Infinity Boots that are getting into clues, then it's kind of always going to be a decent method, seeing as not many people like it. I personally really love it there, but I know a lot of people hate it, but it's one I had to mention in this video because it's one of the better mini games that can actually make you money. Another mini game that you might not even know existed is called Vine Sweeper, and to get there you basically talk to any tool leprechaun in the game and you can be teleported there, and it sounds exactly how it is. It's Minesweeper. So if you remember the old game Minesweeper, if you ever played that, that is basically what this is. You go around, you dig up spots, little numbers pop up, and then you have to plant a flag where the seeds are on the ground instead of digging them up, and then essentially you get points for that. And the reason this is decent now, or could be decent now, is because you can use those points to buy lower level seeds. Now since the seed rework, seeds have gone all out of whack in price, and I actually tried this on stream on release and I actually made a stupid amount of money, but it isn't that much money anymore. So essentially if you're good, you can get around 20 to 30k points per hour if you know what you're doing, which equates to 2,000 or 3,000 of the lower level seeds such as Terramin seeds. So you get 2,000 or 3,000 of these seeds, and when the seed rework happened they were selling for like 40k each, which is insane money. But now I actually did a little bit of this just for a few minutes to get some seeds and see what they were selling for, and they actually sold for around 10 or 11k each. Now this comes out if you can get 3,000 to 4,000 seeds an hour. You might think, hey, that's 30 to 40 mil an hour, which is really good, but there's only so many of these low-level seeds that people are going to buy. So if you go and you do this and you get 100k seeds, yeah, nobody's going to be buying those for 10k each. That's just too many seeds. So this is something maybe you can go try it out for 30 minutes, see if you make a little money. But as for something you're going to do hour after hour after hour, this is definitely not it. But I am surprised to see such an old and just weird mini game that I forgot even existed can still make you at least something, and is still kind of relevant in today's game. So I thought this was a little cool one to mention as well. Now another minigame that I wanted to check out was Tai Bwo Wannai Cleanup. Now this is one that's people do a lot in old school, and there's only really one reason you do it, and that's to try to get the gout tuber. Now you basically need to go to Tai Bwo Wannai, and you're basically going to sit there and you're going to hack a ton of jungle trying to, you know, clean up the jungle, and you can get trading sticks and stuff like that. And the one thing you really want to get is called a gout tuber. Now the gout tubers can be found during this, and there's a 1% chance when you're hacking down jungle that a gout tuber plant will come out. And essentially what this does is you actually need it to do the medium Karamaja achievements. So everybody that does this diary is going to need a gout tuber, and most people aren't going to want to go and spend time to get it themselves. So you basically have two options. You can either go try to get it yourself or buy it, and as of now the GE price is actually 5.6 mil. So yes, this is kind of an item that you wouldn't think would be expensive, but it's actually tradable, and 5.6 mil. So I actually went and tried to get one of these before, and I was there for over an hour and I had no luck getting one. So it does seem like it definitely takes quite a long time to get one of these. So it's probably not great money per hour, but yeah, it's pretty interesting that a place like this that's so old still has items that are actually worth a decent amount, albeit probably not very good GP per hour at all. So next we're going to go to a minigame that's I forgot even existed, and this is at the Ranging Guild getting archery tickets. Now I thought this one would be a funny one to try because I highly doubt this is going to make any money, but we might be surprised, I don't know. So I went there, and essentially, if you guys remember this back in the day, you would go, you'd enter the competition, and then you'd shoot a bullseye, and you get archery tickets for doing that. And essentially I went there with my Saren God bow, and the guy was like, that's not a bow. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to go get another bow. So I brought a Zarite bow, didn't work, and then I realized this was made in like 2005, so I went and got a magic bow, magic short bow, and it ended up working. So you pay 200 GP, you get 10 bronze arrows, and you hit the bullseye, and then you get archery tickets. That's about as simple as it is. So I just did it for a few minutes, and I went to the reward shop, and everything is pretty bad, but it looks like the best thing to buy for money for GP per ticket is like the studded coif. Maybe it's used for like an easy clue, and that's why it's, you know, a few K, but I bought all those, and I went and put them in the GE, and they didn't sell at all. So yeah, I don't think doing this is making much money at all, but it was fun to kind of go and look back and see if maybe we could find a diamond in a rough here, but no, it's not very good. So lastly, I tried to go to a minigame that's a little more modern, and that is Shattered Worlds. Now Shattered Worlds, if you don't know, is very, very good to level up items for invention. So essentially you can go there if you need to get something leveled up, so you can disassemble it for components. It's very, very good for that. Now I decided I would see if I could figure out a way to make money there, and I thought about something called XP capacitors, which are essentially sellable invention XP. So what you do is you bring an XP capacitor, you level it up to a certain amount of XP, and then you can sell it, and others can use it to essentially train their invention faster or level up items faster. Now I thought, what if I went to Shattered Worlds and used the methods I use to level up items fast, which is like using chins with an EOF and a debo and leveling up stuff super fast, and charging these capacitors and seeing if I could make some profit by selling them. So what I did was I unlocked the blueprints, and then I made myself one of these, and it costs around 800k in components to actually make one of these. You can't buy them, so we're already at a starting cost of around 800k. So I went to Shattered Worlds and I was doing the worlds, I think 91 to 96, and I was using the feeling pumped power up, which makes it so I have basically max adrenaline at almost all times, and then I would clump up the enemies and debo them down, and I did this for about 45 minutes. It took a little while, 45 minutes, and I leveled up the XP capacitor to full 100k XP, and after I leveled it up completely, I went and sold it. It took about 45 minutes and we sold it for about 2.2 million GP. So it's like a 1.4 mil profit in around 45 minutes. But you also have to realize that I was using EOF charges, which I use quite a bit. I was also using chins and then a little bit of food and potions. So in reality, I don't think I really made like any money doing this. Now I did get a ton of Shattered Anima doing this method, and I did gain a lot of invention XP for my items, or for the XP capacitor, but that didn't really translate to money because I'm using EOF charges, chins, and all that, and I think I basically broke even. So is it really worth it to do Shattered Worlds to try to make XP capacitors to sell for money? As far as I can tell, not really. I know there's a new method going around where you can get a ton of combat XP in Shattered Worlds, so I'm curious how fast you can charge XP capacitors that way. But the way I did it, charging like one every 45 minutes, one every 40 minutes or so, and the profit I make on it compared to what I spent on supplies, it was just not worth it. I will rate Shattered Worlds really. So yeah, that was our look into mini games to see if there are any profitable ones, and I'd say there are some decently profitable mini games. They're not all horrible or you're gonna make no money and waste your time doing them. Magic Training Arena, Brimhaven Agility Course. I covered the Gnome Restaurant minigame in another video, and that one was actually pretty decent too. So there are some decent ones. Now you're not gonna be making 50 mil an hour anywhere, but they can still be a fun time and maybe you can make a little money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always wanted to kind of do a deep dive into some mini games, and I thought it was pretty fun. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.